Hey, this is John Carlos, and I am here with a look at the Star Wars Black Series Deluxe action figure of Nalan Cheel. So Nalan Cheel is basically the exact same figure as Figrin Dan. Comes with a bunch of different accessories, which we'll get to in a moment, but it is the same basic action figure. So I will go over just the basics of the figure really quickly, as far as, you know, the basics of his outfit, the pants. If you've seen my Figrin Dan figure review, then you've already seen all this standard Black Series articulation that we're used to, except for the wrists, which don't hinge up and down or side to side. They pop off with a little ball joint. But here's just a closer look at the head, just so you can see the details of his little butthole mouth and his little butt crack face. The paint shading on this is really nice, but the sculpt of the kind of, not quite veiny, not quite muscles, but I don't know, something. All the little flappy folds and foldy holds of his face look good. Eyeball paint is nice and clean, looks good. Now this is the exact same figure except for one small difference. This figure has different hands out of the packaging than the Figrin Dan character. Lots of different accessories, including different hands. Those hands you just saw were kind of curved. They were like relaxed grip. These are tighter grip. These are also the exact same hands that Figrin Dan comes with. And you're probably not going to be using these, but it is nice that they included them. You will be using these completely flat, open-palmed hands, and you will be using these super tight grip hands. These hands are used for gripping these little drumsticks. These little drumsticks go with this, you know, jizz drum, whatever it's called. Yeah, I said jizz. Go look that up. The music that the modal notes play is called jizz. In fact, being a musician in that genre is called jizz wailing. Here is the essentially space, you know, bagpipe, and I think this looks pretty good. And then lastly, we have this nifty little theremin thing. The details on it are pretty nice. It comes with its own little stand and foot pedals and a little bass. All in all, I think this is probably the neatest instrument slash accessory of the set. Here's an example of me popping off one hand and swapping it out for another. I was expecting it to be a little difficult to get the figure's feet to line up on the foot pads once I got the figure seated, but getting the figure seated was easy, lining up the legs was easy, and lining up the ankle joint so I can get the foot in just the right position on each pad, surprisingly easy. This figure looks good on the little stool there. One thing worth noting, though, is I do wish, you know, that I can get his arms a little closer to the instrument, and I want to lean him forward, but that's as far as his torso goes. So if you want to lean him forward more, you're going to have to bend him at the top of the legs to get him to kind of lean over a bit, like so. And then, you know, considering it is a theremin, you just got to bring the elbows over there, and there he goes, a little wah 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 wah. Here he is rocking the little bagpipe thing. One little nitpick I have with this figure is that the wrists are ball jointed, which I appreciate for swapping out the hands, but they really do limit the amount of articulation you have. No up and down hinge, no side to side hinge. I wish I could hinge his hand a little bit more to grip the bottom of the bagpipe. It still rests in the palm of his hand pretty nicely, though. I also wish there was double elbow joint so I can get his arm a little closer to the chest so it could be resting closer to the top of the instrument. It still looks pretty good as it is, and I love the way this is designed to fit perfectly into his little mouth hole. And here he is with the little drum kit. One thing I appreciate about this figure is that the elbow joints don't just lift up and down. They do have their own side-to-side hinge, which allows you to get, you know, his hands pretty close to the drum. I don't really know how you play this thing, so I'm just going to kind of pose him like that. Sure. Now, this is a deluxe Black Series figure, which means it retails for $38.99, and that might be a little steep considering the figure itself is, like I said, basically just the Figrin Dan. It's a pretty basic figure. There's nothing that deluxe about it except for the accessories. The accessories are a little more complicated than the three little flutes that Figrin Dan comes with. So I'll cut it some slack in the price point. Not only because it comes with more complicated accessories slash instruments, but the fact that it comes with multiple hands. So if you want to build the whole modal nodes band, all you had to do was buy one Nalan Cheel and a bunch of Figrin Dans, because all the Figrin Dan's hands pop out too. So you just use the multiple instruments and multiple hands from the Nalan Cheel with a bunch of the Figrin Dan figures, and you can build yourself a band, which I think is pretty awesome. This is supposed to be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, but I found it on ShopDisney, and I ordered it, and it shipped out, and I got it like 3 or 4 days later. So if you're looking for this now, ShopDisney is definitely the way to go. I really dig this a lot. I'm thrilled that Hasbro made the modal nodes, and I think they did a great job with this figure. I love it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this figure, and if you want to be up to date with all my latest reviews, be sure to smash that subscribe button.